Testing, testing.
She's running out of breath. Her lungs are searing, and her stomach is in a knot. Pushing herself forward, determined to finish. Slowly, slowly, her body starts giving up. The others watch as she cripples, then withers and fades. She lays in darkness, alone. Screaming, shouting at the world, asking it why. Why does popularity, looks, and athleticism make us who we are? Without meaning to, she sends out a call. It is heard. From the darkness, a tall shadow emerges. Someone's coming for support. Gradually reforming. The fallen starts to awaken. She's lifted to her feet. And slowly, they are walking one step at a time, crossing the finish line, together.
But the show must go on. So they were flexible, and they did it anyway, and they did a great The next play is being performed by the troupe called the Four Musketeers, and it is called New Life.
Though we mourn the loss of my father, sisters and brothers died heartbroken. So I stand at the edge of the cliff, looking on to the other side. And I can see the freedom to move, and a fresh start with the courage to jump. Scared to leave from the cliff that I know, but nonetheless, I must not deter. And as I look back one more time, I jump with hope for a new beginning where all glory will start. My eyes twinkling with excitement. A new alpha is born.
Our next group can go ahead and get set up.
Struck down and it fell and it died. I don't think
This is the Alpha Productions, and the title is called Because We Are Wolves.
Deep in the heart of a forest, a throng of howls chorus. It's not a song, it's really a call. It's so loud, we hear it all. I recognize it. It's from the Alpha. He's important. Yes, he is so. It's our cue. It's time to go. We don't get tired as we run because we are gray wolves. With the Alpha in the lead, everyone moves with incredible speed. While weak as one. Together, we're strong. We stay in sync, like singers in song. We surround, covering the ground. There is no way to escape. It rolls and drops like a lifeless scrape. With its small eyes and its bouncy nose, now we can't tell what it is when it's closed. We wait, but we're restless. We're waiting together, for if we're alone, we slowly fall. Still waiting, we sniff like curious dogs. But we're still waiting. The squirrels chitter, the forests whisper, as the air's crisp, cool breeze nurtures the young leaves. We are too impatient for it to open. We go back to our den on an empty stomach.
Next group can get set up. So students had a choice whether they wanted to actually read their poem live, as you've seen the last three groups do, or to have a recording, therefore that all actors in the troupe could add movement. So the next two will be moving to a recording. And as Mr. Kerner said, our job was sort of to take your beautiful language and imagery and to add movement to it. So Burning Coal worked with us about different kinds of movement, direct or indirect, flowy, sustained, heavy, or light. We talked about space, negative space, positive space, status, when an actor is higher or lower and how that creates a power dynamic. So we tried to use the language and the terminology of movement to add yet another layer to the text that already was dense with meaning, right, from your poetry. And obviously the shadows add another element in terms of clarity, how sharp and clear the image is, or if it's blurrier, how large it is, scale. So you'll notice too in the plays how our actors play with scale and negative and positive space. So this one is called The Doll with a Dream, and it's by Camera Theater Productions.
And look outside every day. As I sit there, I pray and pray. But the sun comes up and goes back down. And day after day, I stay downtown. I wish I could get up and dance. But that will not happen, not even a chance. I can't live alone. I need help from others. I haven't even met my true mother. One day, just like any other, a little girl walks with her mother. They walk down the street, hand in hand. She comes to my window and I watch her stand.
I'm sorry, we got technical difficulties. I'll try to do it wired, I don't know.
Okay, you can also read it. Sorry. 1 second, we're gonna get it straight.
Did you know that flowers also high pay wages involved? What'd you say? I heard there was a watering can. Did you know that flowers have the highest paid wages? That's what I said. What? He said he watered. He thought you said flowers were the highest. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, I said flowers. I had paid wages. I was always in your job. But flowers were what? Our daughter also water flowers. Oh my god, and it's true.
Okay. Keeping with the theme, the show must go on. We're having technical difficulties with the sound. We have a wonderful actor, Tyler Smith, who's going to help read their poem out loud, and then they're going to do movements to it. And we're going to be a great audience, right? Because we know that they're being flexible, and we're going to do it again. Woo! Here we go. Yay!
I sit outside every day. As I sit there, I pray and pray. But the sun comes up and goes back down. And day after day, I stay downtown. Sometimes I wish I could get up and dance. But that will not happen, not even a chance. I can't live alone. I need help from others. I haven't even met my true mother. One day, just like any other, a little girl walks in with her mother. They walk down the street, hand in hand. She comes to my window, and I watch her stand. The giants that work in the store scare me. But this little girl was different. She was here for me. She starts to smile, begs her mother. That's when I know we'll be best friends forever. I'm finally going to be a toy. I almost jump and yell with joy. The little bell rings above the door as she walks inside the antique store. As I hear my heartbeat get louder and louder, she grabs me and runs up to the counter. Now I am loved and cared for, and I play with the girl on the floor. Thank you, little girl. Thank you so much. And now I am, because we are.
So as you see, a lot of life is about being flexible, right? Didn't they do a great job?
Yeah.
Especially Tyler, where are you? Well done, sir.
Thanks, Tyler.
That was beautiful. All right, give us a moment while we get ready for this.
Get ready. Everyone practice. Everyone practice as well. I feel like somebody cooked up but this be well. Wait, what? Is it bad? It's
Our last performance is called The African Savannah, and it is being put on by Blue Spring Productions.
In the African savannah, a herd of gazelles calmly grazing. Two small gazelles near the tall grasses, far from the others. The younger gazelle hears a sound. A cheetah quietly watches the herd. If she fails to find food, it will all be lost. One wrong move, and her cubs could starve. The two young gazelles see the cheetah. They run and call to alert the others, knowing that they can't see the hidden cheetah. They all start running, speeding away, running for their lives, swiftly bouncing up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, with the cheetah not far behind, until one gazelle darts from the rest. will protect the others, protecting them from the cheetah. The cheetah's sharp yellow eyes spot the easy target, falling behind the herd. The young gazelle sacrificed himself so that the herd could escape. They sort of knew in their minds that someone had been lost. But since they were still running, it was impossible to tell who was gone. From this moment on, the herd would be together. And from then on, the herd would always be side by side.
Let's have one big hand for all of our actors today. Thank you, actors, for being flexible with our technical difficulties. Thank you, audience, for being forgiving and understanding with our technical difficulties. When you do something for the first time, you take a risk, right? Just a word about what's happening next. So after all of our 7th graders go on, the top 10 or so performances will go on to the 8th grade. And the 8th grade will be adding special effects, projections, maybe some sounds, music. So, and you all will see the final product that you started at Ubuntu on February 28th. So we're really excited. Thank you again for the wonderful poetry that you said, 6th graders. And thank you, staff and teachers, for coming out to support us. We really appreciate it. One last thing, please do return your playbills right there when you leave, just because we want our recycles to be green as you go on. But thank you so much for coming. We appreciate it. Have a great day.
This, you see how it has the red button? Yeah. And then 1, 2, and then that means it's recording. You put the clock up, okay, and turn it off.
Two performances, our first ever. We're so excited to have you here. And first of all, we want to give a big thank you to our 6th grade poets who sent us some beautiful poems that we have put movement to. Let's give our 6th graders a hand. The 6th graders wrote poems sort of on the theme of Ubuntu and handed them up to us. And wow, we were blown away by how vivid and fresh and original the imagery was. And our 7th grade groups took some of those poems and then put them to movement with the help of Burning Coal and 8th graders who are here. You guys are going to be receiving some of these performances and adding effects to them, special effects to them for the next step. So we hope that you take a careful look at all these, because you might get handed one of these that you're going to see today. We also want to say it's hard to get up here and act out something in front of your peers, especially older folks. So thank you so much for being really positive and encouraging and supportive of our 7th grade actors. You might remember doing this last year. It was one act, but it was still kind of scary, right? Yeah, so you remember that from last year. Yeah. You want to talk about the process a little bit, or should we go ahead?
I think let's get the show on the road. So I will say that our thespians were encouraged to use their bodies and movement and shadow work to express their interpretation of the Ubuntu poems they received. So they had a lot of tools to work with, and so you'll see some of those different iterations here as we go through. Some use color, some use freeze frame, some use a lot of movement. Almost everyone uses shadows. So notice what stands out to you as a powerful image in these dramatic performances.
Our first play is called The Hunt, and it is being put on by the 4 Muskie Theater.
Walking through the forest, all alone with my child, in the middle of a long, quiet trail, in search of wild deer, but not a trace is yet to be found. Soon enough, we come across a beautiful pine tree. Leaves glistening in the daylight, so tall they touch the sky. Home to spiders, birds, rodents, and ants. Owls feast, feed their prey, and snakes slither around. In the blink of an eye.
Just keep going.
In the blink of an eye, we have spotted a deer, here to snatch, to feed my lovely child. I pull out my arrow and shoot the deer from a distance. Away it flies until it pierces the deer through the heart. We start dragging our trophy 1,000 times heavier than us. Towards our home we tread, throughout the forest we head.
And away we walk, oblivious to what's behind. A shadow blocks the sun. We turn around and find a bear looming overhead. We try to run, but his jaws are quick. I shove my child aside. "Run away," I said, and everything goes black. But it's all okay because my child is safe. Thank you.
Unscripted theater, and it is called A Day for the Next.
Sparrow swoops in down the bow. The great oak grows mighty and tall. A deer searches for the newly grown grass beneath the oak, unaware that she's being hunted at all. The wolf trailed behind the deer, lightly padding through the grass.
rain fully, but only succeeds with others. Alone, a raindrop is tiny. Together, they unleash floods. One raindrop couldn't create rain without help from others, and together, they will cross the finish.
That play, one that you just saw was called A Message of Raindrops, and that was by the UNAME Name It Theater. Wait for our next group to get set up, and then I'll introduce them.
All trees start.
Okay, here is our last performance. And it is entitled Intertwine by the acting troupe Light Bulb Productions.
All trees start from small seeds. They start weak, and many don't survive. Squirrels hunt for them. Many are eaten, and others are blocked. But sometimes the squirrels forget. And some seeds survive. Then they sprout open. Their branches and leaves spread out. Through harsh winters. And wet springs. They have no eyes to see, so they stand strong through seasons and continue growing taller. Their branches and leaves cover the land to create a forest canopy. It towers above the land as if it was a lighthouse. 100,000 green leaves and a powerful trunk. They stay rooted, many trees together, to protect the animals that call the forest home. When the forest sets afire, and when all the trees fall, the other animals fade away. Like a flock of geese who cannot fly by themselves. When one of them falls from the sky, each of them a cup companies.
Let's give a hand to all of our actors. A big shout out to our 7th grade actors. That's not easy to come and perform in front of your peers, so well done. Well done. I want to say a little bit about the theme of Ubuntu too. Isn't this a wonderful example of it, right? I am, because we are the 6th graders creating these poems, the 7th graders adding movement, and then the 8th graders ultimately adding some different effects. So I hope that comes through, 8th graders, when you're adding to this and enhancing these, that you sort of keep that spirit of Ubuntu in mind. A little bit about our process. So we've studied, movement, direct, indirect, flowy, straight, sustained, heavy, light. We talked about negative and positive space. You might have noticed how when there was lots playing, or the whole thing was filled. Scale, who's taller, who's shorter, how that creates a power dynamic. And so hopefully you saw how those different sort of movement decisions added more layers of meaning to the poetry. Thank you for being a great audience. Thank you for being engaged and respectful and supportive. And we can't wait to see what 8th grade does with these. So good luck.
And as a reminder, as you leave, please put the playbills back because we like to recycle them for the other groups or just to stay green. Okay?
Thank you very much.
And the way you know for sure it's on is that you'll see a red button and you'll see the clock counting. And then just push it again and that turns it off.
This new project. We're so excited to have you here. Thank you so much. I know you're very, very busy people, so thanks for coming and checking out our work. Just a little background. 6th graders did the poems. They wrote poems with Burning Coal Theater Company, all around the theme of Ubuntu. You might remember Ubuntu from your last 2 years here. I am, because we are. And they revised them several times and then passed them on to us. And in small groups, our 7th graders took 1 or 2 or 3 poems and sort of mingled them together and then added movement to these pieces, which is what you're about to see today. And then you guys will be step number 3. You will take these performances and add some special effects to them, add some projections and lighting effects and cool stuff. So it truly sort of encompasses the spirit of Ubuntu. I am, because we are a sense of community, something all 3 grades will touch and co-create. So we're really excited to share these with you. Also a reminder that it's hard to get up and perform in front of your peers. You remember doing 1 act last year? Yeah, it's scary, right? So thank you so much for being supportive and kind and positive and smiling at our actors and being your great, respectful self with lots of compassion and integrity. Anything else?
The only thing I would add is that comparing this to what you all did with 1X, you all worked heavily on narrative arcs. These are more interpretive. They're actually body movements interpreting the idea of Ubuntu. So I would like you to look for those differences in what appeared in your 1X versus these, which are a little more deep almost.
Yeah. All right, so our first play is called The Snowy City, and is being performed by a 4 kids production.
The sun rises and people wake up. Snow floats to the ground, covering the city in a blanket of white. People are trying to get places, some fast and others slow, on the busy streets of New York City. The temperature drops and I shiver. The people that pass me, they all have different reasons, perspectives. To some, they're all the same but different. To someone blind, color is everything. Or to someone deaf, the slightest whisper can be the loudest scream. Seconds can be an eternity, and hours can condense into minutes. One word can change everything. Colors, noise, light. We perceive it differently, but the meaning stays the same. What used to be darkness emerges as light. Golden beams flow like a river from the sky. The snow melts. The sun sets upon the city that never sleeps as snow falls once more.
Take your bow.
Come on, take your bow. As this group sets up, I want to give that group a shout out because they have one member who's down and Cindy just jumped in today. She was the one in front of the screen the whole time. So this is a great example of flexibility, right? And the show must go on, right? Also want to say a little bit about what to look for in terms of the movement. Thinking about different kinds of movement, whether it's direct, indirect, whether it's flowy or more straight, whether it's heavy or light. These are all things that we've been playing with. Also scale, how large an image is or how small it is, if it's clear, if it's fuzzy. So these are all different ways to sort of layer on meaning to...
You never give it that much thought.
That's just a test. Layer on meaning to the poems that the sixth graders already created. Right. This is called A Mysterious Jungle, and the acting troupe is called The Four Particles.
You never give it that much thought. The particles that make us up are all the same. A vertical line connects to a horizontal one to make the letter T. Push and squeeze close. Spelling out together. As I walk through the jungles of this world, all the secret places are unknown to me. Whether you are 6 or 82, the particles that make us all up make yourself you. I hear everyone talking. I feel so left out. Then I realize life has a way of making itself known in unexpected ways. So, as I walk through the jungles of this world, we see what everyone brings to this earth. The laughter, the joy, and the friendship is in the air.
So good. They weren't funny. I wouldn't know that. But all the stress.
Earth in corner side.
You also see that we've been able to color some, right? And sort of the emotional, metaphorical associations we have with color with some gels. So that's another part of the technical piece that's been fun to play with. Our next performance is called the Magic Puzzle, and it is being performed by the brilliant magicians.
Curved and cornered sides. Within them, the picture starts to come alive. A pattern so unique to the eyes. A day that has just been created turns into night. The happiness that could have been obtained has left like a hurricane. The closer you get, the more we can see. The puzzle starts to become a reality. We start to hear the cheers of the crowd and feel the warmth from the sun beaming down. Sprinting down the field, the ball following our path. The grass looks like brown seaweed. I feel a defender lurching towards me. I take a step long enough to cross the ocean. I feel our team on either side cheering me on. I kick with all of my might. The ball seems to leave my feet. Rolling across the uneven field, she receives and she shoots, leaving the crowd in shock. I hear the teammates in all of their cheers. We are pulled into an enormous hug. They whisper, "We did it."
Our next performance is called The Land Down Under, and it's being performed by acting troupe Muffin Blazers. And just to note, they have someone who just got sick, so a new person is filling in, so we're going to be really supportive as they are flexible in the moment.
As the ocean wakes up, we become one. The sun slowly rises over the horizon. As the Father of the stars casts its light, making the sky bright. The tiny stripes zigzag through the ocean, each a part of something bigger. The light current hits their faces, slight as a grain of sand. Then the creatures scattered. They sense movement. A roaming shark appears in search of a snack. When it's time to go, the fish disappear into the swirling depths of an anemone. Grateful for its safe sanctuary, the fish looks out of the anemone's stinging tentacles. The defeated shark slinks away. The fish swim with others together, making beautiful motions in perfect harmony. As they sleep till the next night.
Oh, I mean, next time I can get rid of this house. Ready up, Alex. Turn it up. Hear that? So that you
The earth has countless.
Another thing we've been working on is going beyond the literal, right? Beyond the concrete image, which I'm sure you guys, well, 6th grade talked a lot about with poetry, right? Going beyond sort of the superficial surface level. Listen up. Of the poems. So we try to move on to the metaphorical, right? Move on to the figurative. And go beyond sort of acting out the poem. So I figure you're going to be seeing some of that as we move forward. This is our final performance for today. It is called Connecting Humanity, and it is being put on by Ant Steer.
The earth has countless configurations. Traveling across the land and sea. Circulating through the air. Returning and descending endlessly. Nature has many different animals that work as one. As one of nature's most diligent animals, ants work from day to night. Bottom to height. As I scout about in 1 to 10s. Working perfectly in a little black line. Perfect as it is, humans could work more in harmony. If only we would know to use our ability to work together and to be aiding all others for a perfect world in peace. We stick together through the ups and downs, through the hardships and the challenges.
I am because we are. And then you just leave it there.
I'll introduce. Okay. Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to 7th grade Ubuntu performances, 7th grade. A little smaller crowd today, but we still have to remember, right, in the spirit of Ubuntu, that we are still audience members, and we're going to be supportive and positive and quiet and respectful. That's not a hand, is it? Okay. We have 4 performances today, so this is probably going to move pretty quickly. Our first performance is called Wolves at Midnight, and it is being put on by the Rising Shadows Theater. Let's give them a round of applause.
Rachel, on your cue.
Sun shining, the moose prances about. Searching for grass, enjoying the breeze. Slowly, nightfall. The full moon shining bright. The silence of the night. Dark woods full of mystery. The unnoticed wolves spying on the victim. Suddenly, they lose rhythm. On they sprint. Their paws beat so hard they shake the ground. Sneaky shadows bursting. creatures pouncing. Wolves curl and twirl with their breeze. The game collapses and lets go of an agonizing call. The aggressive wolves loom above. They cannot live without each other. They work together as if they share thoughts in their heads. Together, no exclusion. Fury spirit roams across the wolves. Alone, they fail. Together, they feast.
Gunshots rattled in
Hey,
every
I'm just
direction.
testing.
Sorry. Okay, we move on from the wolves to a bright white light being performed by YMCA Productions.
Yeah.
On your cue.
Gunshots rattled in every direction. Soldiers serving for their country's protection. Bullets fly to and from, messaging that death will come. A man is shot right in the chest. Staggering first, he walks zigzagging. His momentum slowing as he finally sags. A weary warrior, nearly dead, falls to the ground as if going to bed. His shirt is stained a bloody red, and his wounds have continued to bleed. Through his eyes is the helper that has arrived. Yes, it is a doctor trying to keep him alive. He feels a hand over his heart, and he knows that he is doing his part. As he awakes, he finds links of people, oceans of people, all deceased. From that day forward, till the end of the war, and the end of his life, the man helped the herd through the day and through the night. His kind heart cast them a bright white light, hoping that one day too, they might cast a bright white light.
Well done. The next performance is called Forest of Memory, and it's being performed by PSBC Theater. This is, again, is another example of flexibility, and the show must go on. Blair is sick today, so Laura is filling in. Here we go.
Deep in the heart of the forest, with trees on all sides. Walking through the trees as if they parted for her. The sun setting in the distance. A girl. She is walking. The acorn cracking underneath her feet. She reaches the second to last step. Looking out, she sees the sun. The bright yellow light in the distance, slowly getting smaller. She remembers where she is. Years ago, her grandpa, he stood here. Saw his life go by. His mother, his father, startled back to reality. Deep in the heart of the forest, with trees on all sides. A group of young children smile with pride. They take her hands. And together, they summit. Her burning curiosity finally satisfied.
The waterfall. Watch it. The waterfall. By Jeff Holland, Henry McFaul, Grant Ward, and Chris Walner.
Okay, we go from the forest to the watering hole. That's the name of our next piece, the watering hole, and it is being performed by the Ubuntu crew.
Lionesses hunting in the dark.
softly prowling through warm savanna grass, waiting for a sign only the pride knows. A gazelle wandering a little too close, peering through a bush, then sprinting through the open plain, all with her sisters in beautiful nature. But a whisper of sound, saying to run. A breeze agrees. Running, the gazelle obeys. The chase ends, and no food for us. Tired, thirsty, a little cub crawls towards the water, falls in. No one notices, left behind. A day seems like a year. Staying here is my greatest fear. I feel like a fool, stuck in the watering hole. Many have tried to help me, only to leave without setting me free. For example, Jaguar. He left with a couple sobs. First, the Jaguar. He tried to pull me out. But his strength, I began to doubt. Brute strength is not all I need. I'll probably need something else, indeed. Now Gorilla tried to grease my release, but my skin would not let her win. The hippo decided to try her crystals. She didn't get me out, so I began to pout. As you can see, those strange three, when they worked together, they abolished my terror.
All right, guys, you are done. Give yourselves a big round of applause.
A blanket of fog covers the pond. Corn straw all around, making a dome. I push to swim further through our once beautiful home. The pond is like the dark woods, shrouded in misery. Out of curiosity, I venture forth, running from the darkness. My shadow mocks me. It's not on my side either. It hurts to be alone. I try to escape. The darkness takes over. Our home has been littered, and I am stranded. Pond is filled fully with corn. Suddenly, I am no longer alone. I am sick. We stand together like trees in the woods, while weak as one. Together we are strong. We swim as one. We are not just anyone. We are everyone. We are koi fish.
Makes us unique. All separate, all different. It makes us dumb and hard-headed.
Later we learn people have pain. We all feel each other's struggles.
But today is the day we grow and mature, but look on the bright side of all of the pain in the world.
Beautiful twinkles and beautiful summers. The branches and leaves start to sprout. We emerge from a small acorn and transform. We become the strong sapling that we are.
Although we see that our perceptions have evolved, the staircase is irrelevant. DNA is just why we're different, when we are all the same.
The deaf cannot perceive sound, and the blind cannot perceive color. But all of us can help their curiosity by acting with some generosity.
We dream, we wonder, we believe, we hope.
Our friends have finally found us. We run together to embrace. We all fit in, no matter the place.
We come together to compare and contrast our core values and our wildest dreams. And as it turns out, we aren't so different. This is because we all believe in Ubuntu.
So the process in creating these has gone on for quite a few weeks, and it comes down to this day. So I know that seventh graders, you're probably feeling some nerves, but everything is going really well. So congrats on that. We are down to our last performance. This is also a group, the Midnight Moon group, right? Midnight Moon group is also missing a member of their acting troupe, so they are going. The show must go on, so they're performing down one. And they are going to perform Together We Run.
Running out of breath, lungs searing, stomach in knots. It was hard to keep pushing forward. My shoes hit the track in a rhythm as I tried to keep up.
with the world around me. My feet slowed to a stop. I saw someone broken. Their body gave up limb by limb. Others swiftly moved past us without as much as a glance. They kept running as if nothing happened. For a second, I observed. Their knees gave in to gravity, locked up and bound. Their energy faded in the dark. I looked back and forth, from the finish line to the runner. My instinct said to keep going, but I chose not to. The crowd wanted me to run on, but I chose not to. Like an army helping fallen soldiers, we lifted each other up. Supporting one another, we slowly crossed the finish line, one foot in front of the other. Even if we are on different teams, we are both runners, running for different reasons, but together we run through and through.
It all seems lost. So I get ready to go, now and today. I think of my mother, how sad this would make her. And just before I jump, I feel something warm on my chest. A small little girl acting as my life vest. She holds me tight and dear, and I can only assume it's out of fear. Out of fear, I would jump. So we stood there alone, suddenly more people joined, and more, and more, and more. But I wasn't going to end it.
I won't exit or quit.
culture of nature, the most welcoming fox in the world. On your cue, the sauna show.
See how nature is when she ushers winter in. We see the gray sky. We close our eyes and sense shivers on our skin. We know that winter is here. Bears hibernating in their dens. Bees sleep in their hive. All of winter is quiet. While hardship arrives. The blizzards challenging birds. They can't travel south this year, and everyone is asleep except their dreaded enemy. The birds try to reason, and the foxes give a nice surprise. Letting them come into their snow den. The birds survive another year. Peace is among the forest. For when they work together,
Ubuntu will prevail.
Most generous fox in nature. Finally, the search.
Lonely and scared, just a piece of the puzzle, trying to find my way. I don't know where I belong. I need my friends to lead the way.
The spiraling staircase makes us unique. All separate, all different. It makes us dumb and hard-headed.
Later we learn people have pain. We all feel each other's struggles.
But today is the day we grow and mature, and look on the bright side of all of the pain in the world.
Many year twinkles and beautiful summers Branches and leaves start to sprout. We emerge from a small acorn and transform. We become the strong sapling that we are. Now that we see that our perceptions have evolved, the staircase is irrelevant. DNA is just why we're different, when we are all the same.
The deaf cannot perceive sound, and the blind cannot perceive color. But all of us can help their curiosity by acting with some generosity.
We dream, we wonder, we believe, we hope. Our friends have finally found us. We run together to embrace. We all fit in, no matter the place.
We come together to compare and contrast
our core values and our wildest dreams. And as it turns out, we aren't so different.
This is because we all believe in Ubuntu.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
Okay, see. So in the language that we were shared from Burning Coal, our actors were encouraged to really emphasize physicality, becoming big or small. So you saw that here with the wolves, that they used only their bodies to create kind of the different iterations of the wolves on their hunt. Additionally, space is important. This screen has positive and negative space, which I know a lot of you artists have studied. So the idea of how much or how little of the screen do you use? These are all choices that our actors make. Next we have Lost at Sea. Please come up. This is a group Lost at Sea, performed by Fiji Water Productions. We got a little sponsorship going on. Let me just check to see if they need some
Please help me. In the middle of the vast blue sea, my life is hanging by a thread. I'm so sure I'll end up dead.
It looks like I'm passing through a patch of brown seaweed. As I'm swimming, I see something in the distance. Something long, wide, and gray. Shark. As I watch the shark circle me, I take a stroke, long enough to cross the ocean, and kick with all my might.
and thankfully swims away. And in the distance I see something long, something that just might save me. They could cure my distress. I yell louder than I did before. They seem to hear me loud and clear and tell me that they'll take me to shore. The boat comes toward me and drops a ladder. I climb up and thank my saviors. They welcome me with open arms. The captain extends his hand, and I take it and shake it. They take me back home.
To my house, to my family. They pull me into a ginormous hug. I whisper, "You guys did it."
Next we have Sunflower, performed by the understudies. You can see the varying uses of props. So it's interesting to look at how this influences the shadow work behind.
And you're cute.
Looking up, I see raindrops charging against the window pane. Lightning crackles from the sky. Cold drops falling from up high. I do nothing. That's it. My life is simple. Sometimes I wish I could get up and dance. But that won't happen, not even a chance. My life goes on and on.
and there are many problems that have occurred. But I shall not have any to burden. Because with others to help me, I will rise. I can't live alone. I need help from others. Although we have our variations, we are the same creations, even as we start changing. Even though we have our differences, without others, we are not ourselves. Just like a raindrop tries to rain fully on its own, but can only succeed and create a flood with others by its side. Same yet different in ways, our personalities is. We couldn't grow without the help of others. In the end, my life may not be all that wealthy, but I know others will keep me healthy. Each day, I grow larger and larger with others by my side, because we are ourselves because of others.